Straight ahead on CCX News, a spike in home sale prices. We break down the local listings and show you where prices have risen dramatically. Plus, a labor of love, the special neighborhood bond in Crystal that two neighbors wouldn't trade for anything. And later, the Maple Grove Triathlon's unlikely participant. We'll show you just how much this New Hope man has had to overcome. CCX News starts right now.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. There's some good news on the housing front for those looking to buy a home. Inventory has increased, but it's still a seller's market with sale prices continuing to rise. In Brooklyn Park, the median sales price went up 6% in July compared to the year prior. In Plymouth, the sale price went up 5%, but it's inner ring suburbs like Crystal that are seeing the biggest increases. In that city, the median sales price rose 11% in July. CCX News reporter Meredith Hackler spoke to a realtor in the area and joins us now with more on the local price spike.
Yeah, Shannon, right now the real estate market is a seller's market. More people are looking to buy than that are willing to sell. Homes are often selling over listing price, so a buyer needs to be prepared when they're looking for their new home. However, depending on what suburb you're looking in, the price can vary.
In our area, Robbinsdale, Crystal might be more of where you're getting a starter home. You'll see a lot of stuff in more of the low 200s, maybe 225, 250 can now be a starter home, where in a Plymouth or a Maple Grove, starter homes can be 300 or 350. You've just got more expensive housing, more neighborhoods with expensive housing.
While home prices are more expensive in Maple Grove and Plymouth, Jerry says that home prices across the Northwest Metro have also increased, especially in suburbs that are closest to the city.
Some of the areas we've seen the biggest increases in are what we'll maybe call a first-tier suburb, the Brooklyn Centers, the Robbinsdales, the Crystals, the New Hopes, and the starter home price has seen the biggest increase in price from a percentage standpoint. As you go up, they're still all increasing, but in all of these areas, the starter home for that community is the one that has gone up the most in price over the last year or 2 years.
Now, on average, starter homes only stay on the market for about 2 weeks. If you're looking to buy, Jerry Moskowitz says you should make an offer that is what he calls seller-friendly, meaning you should have a strong pre-approval letter for your mortgage loan, and you should avoid asking for extra renovations to the home. Shannon?
All right, thank you, Meredith. A new development in Maple Grove around Cook Lake is now underway. The City Council will review plans on Monday for a development just south of the Rush Creek Golf Course that will be targeted to active seniors. The 27 acres will have 42 single-family lots. Many of the homes would have what's called zero-step entry that will allow greater accessibility as residents age. This type of design fits in with the recently adopted age-friendly Maple Grove Action Plan. New Hope's Ice Arena is about to get a big upgrade. The city is replacing every fluorescent light in the facility with LEDs. The new lights will require less maintenance and use less energy, all while putting out less heat, which is important in a building that needs to keep big sheets of ice frozen. The $44,000 project will also make the lighting over the rinks more even and consistent.
This is one of the projects that people that visit the New Hope Ice Arena in the past are going to come in and they're going to say, really, it could be a real wow factor, because I think it's going to make that much of a difference in the lighting.
The new lights are estimated to save the city over $13,000 a year in electric bills. Here's a question for you. How do you attract cops to a donut shop? That's actually pretty easy when the cause is really good.
This is the rewarding side of police work, giving back to the community, helping out organizations that do so many good things, not only for our community, but for all the athletes throughout the state.
Officers from the Maple Grove Police Department spent the morning on the roof of Dunkin' Donuts to raise money for the Special Olympics. A steady stream of cars through the drive-thru meant a steady flow of donations to the cause. Organizers say they expect to take in around $1,500. And with cops in other communities, including New Hope, doing the same thing, the total for today should be about $15,000. That will go a long way towards supporting the athletes who can't get enough of the Special Olympics.
Hang out with new friends, get to know new ones, different relationships you get to make, and just to hang out with people that have a disability like I do.
If you missed the rooftop fun, you can still donate at SpecialOlympicsMinnesota.org. A Crystal teen and his retired neighbor took time to get to know each other a little bit better this summer. They also have something to show for their bonding experience too. Here's reporter Sonia Goins.
These old chairs were just not doing anymore. I wanted something that would be sturdy.
The Smith family has something new to make their backyard events more enjoyable.
So there it is, the bench.
A white wooden bench sits perfectly in the bonfire area, but it's more than a place to sit.
This is the first time we've really done something like this.
It's a labor of love between two friends.
Pretty comfortable. Can seat probably 3 to 4 people.
A lot of the time that we spent, it didn't look like a bench.
14-year-old Sawyer and his retired neighbor Bruce constructed the bench.
Impact driver.
Bruce is a design drafter. He shared his carpentry skills with Sawyer.
We used miter saw, table saw, radial arm saw, routers. We glued and screwed all the joints together.
Sawyer says putting it together was kind of tough. Creating the curve on top of the bench was challenging.
That was probably where my hand was shaking the most, trying to do my best.
They spent hours working on the bench.
By working together, we made some mistakes, but we pretty much got the thing built the way it's supposed to be built.
The unique bonding experience occurred because Sawyer's dad, Sean Smith, was trying to find something for the teen to do over the summer and thought it would be a pretty cool idea for him to learn carpentry skills.
The fact of the matter is I don't really know those skills, and I'm lucky enough to have a neighbor that does.
Not only did Sawyer learn woodworking, but life lessons on being a good neighbor.
I was very happy to have a chance to share with Sawyer.
For someone to make a bench with me, have to teach me how to do everything pretty much. A big thank you.
In Crystal, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Sawyer enjoyed the experience so much that he plans to take a woodworking class when he returns to school. His dad says he knows there's a shortage of tradesmen, so exposing Sawyer to those opportunities is very important. So good job, Sawyer. Still ahead on CCX News, the Maple Grove Triathlon and one of its unlikely participants. Plus, we pay a visit to the Osseo football team for today's training camp report. But first, an air quality alert this weekend due to smoke from the Canadian wildfires. That's in effect until noon Sunday. Thousands of people will soon make their way to Weaver Lake Park in Maple Grove next Saturday for the annual Maple Grove Triathlon. Tim Harriger of New Hope will be one of the participants, but as Delane Cleveland reports, he underwent a more unique journey than most.
Tim Harriger likes to keep himself active.
I usually work out 6 days a week for about an hour average a day.
Those workouts can involve hiking in the park or participating in events like 5Ks or triathlons.
It's just one of my strategies to kind of help keep the weight off, and it's also something that's fun that I've never been able to do.
It's something he was never able to do because for most of his life,
my heaviest weight was 538.
He's struggled with his weight.
Basically done every commercial diet that you can think of, so I've done all that, and always the same story: would lose weight, gain it back, lose weight, gain it back.
As he approached age 40, his weight contributed to a variety of health problems.
I was getting a lot of different health problems, and I was getting lots of leg infections basically from, being heavy. And I would say every probably 4 to 5 months I'd go into the urgent care and they would give me antibiotics to get rid of the leg infection.
Ultimately, he decided to get bariatric surgery in October of 2015.
Bariatric surgery really refers to weight loss surgery. So people that are undergoing surgical procedures to help them lose weight and maintain a healthier lifestyle.
Dr. Tom Jones is a bariatric surgeon at Methodist Hospital who performed the procedure on Harriger.
We did a laparoscopic vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is where you remove 80 to 85% of the stomach and turn it into a long tubular structure.
When you combine Harriger's pre-operation weight loss and the weight loss from the surgery itself, Harriger lost a total of 325 pounds.
I tell the patients it's all about your journey, and it's not really about the operation. The operation is one step in a very long journey, and we always use the term it's a tool. It's a tool to help you lose weight and to keep it off over the long term.
So far, Harriger has done just that.
And I can run without stopping. I'm not that fast, but I can always run without stopping, and so that's a pretty big perk for me.
He'll put that perk to the test on August 25th when he participates in his third triathlon.
It's been 3 years since the surgery, and I'm still doing pretty good.
In St. Louis Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The bariatric surgeon at Methodist Hospital says that even with weight loss surgery, people have to make significant lifestyle changes. About 1 in 5 people can gain all of their weight back over the course of a decade if they don't commit to healthier habits. Still ahead, Friendships Built on Stage will preview a production featuring Wayzata High School alumni. But first, pro boxer and Osseo native Caleb Truax is set to fight in the Twin Cities. Jay Wilcox is in next with sports.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. The Osseo football team is hoping to improve on last year's 3-6 record. The Orioles have a few key returners and are seeing a lot of potential in some of the younger guys. Here's Jason Malillo with today's training camp report.
The preseason for Osseo football, like it is for a lot of big school programs, is about putting together a new puzzle.
You know, for us, it's a nice opportunity for us to kind of just reset and reestablish ourselves. We've got a very strong sophomore group, a very strong junior group that's pushing our seniors quite a bit. Our seniors are very athletic, and it's their time now, and we're going to see a lot of those young guys mixed in.
There are 5 players battling for the starting quarterback job, and wide receiver Eli Barlew and tight end Joe Chia will be playmakers. But overall, the Orioles will be a run-heavy offense with Reggie Dupree and Samaje Hitchcock getting most of the carries. On the O-line, right guard Chris Royston is the lone returning starter.
It's going to be young, but I think we're bonding well. We're all really tight. We do a lot of stuff together. We do a lot of extra activities together, so I think we're going to bond pretty well.
We're a lot more athletic, and you know, rather than just being big and slow, we're a lot more athletic, and we can really take care of the defensive line, even if they're fast or not.
On defense, Osseo hopes to come at opposing teams with speed and cause turnovers.
So far, we've seen a lot of new defensive players in the game for us, but over the summer and these last couple of days, we've really seen that unit come together. So they're moving as one, they're flying around as one, and they're having a lot of fun.
Osseo players put in their work during the offseason, but now is when everything ramps up. The Orioles are ready for the challenge and excited for a new campaign.
It's got to start now, because if it doesn't, there's a game 2 weeks away. If you're not ready, if you're not bonding already, it's pretty hard to get together a week before a game or whatever. You guys got to be clicking from day one. So the start of 2 days, everyone was already together, working out together, just doing everything as a team and really bonding.
Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Osseo was 3-6 last season and will have 6 starters coming back, 4 on offense, 2 on defense. This is Ryan Stockhouse's 3rd season as head coach. The Orioles host rival Maple Grove in Week 1 on Thursday, August 30th. And a former Osseo football player who is a top pro boxer returns to the ring next week. Caleb Truax is back in action August 24th. Truax faces Fabiano Pena at the Minneapolis Armory. This will be Truax's first fight since losing the IBF super middleweight title this past April. Truax is excited to get back to work, and having his comeback fight in Minneapolis and at a historic boxing venue like the Armory makes it even better.
Jamal James fought there the week after my fight in April, and I was jealous, man. The crowd was awesome, the atmosphere was awesome, and I wanted to get on that opportunity as soon as I could. And I actually wasn't supposed to fight on this card. I was going to wait until October for something bigger, but you know, like 3-4 weeks ago, they asked me if I would be ready to fight on it, if I wanted to fight on it, and I said, heck yeah, man, it would be great to fight in front of my hometown fans, and I jumped all over it.
You can watch the Truax-Pena fight on FS1, and we'll have more on Truax next week. A New Hope woman has signed a contract to play professional women's hockey in Europe. 2014 Armstrong High School graduate Emma Terres, who wore number 7 when playing for Armstrong Cooper, will play this upcoming season in Ingolstadt, Germany, about an hour north of Munich. It's one of 8 teams in a German professional women's league. Terres just finished her 4-year collegiate career at Bemidji State and is excited to continue her hockey career.
A former teammate of mine at Bemidji, she started playing 2 years before me. She went to Sweden, And so I kind of got the idea from her, and she told me all about her experience and how much she loved it. In the league that I'm playing on, they can only have 2 import players per season, or per year on their team. My teammate's coming from Blaine. She played at Princeton then, and so I knew her. I played AAA with her growing up. So it's exciting to have a familiar face when I go over there.
The season begins in early September and runs through the end of March. Teams play 3 weekends a month and have 1 weekend free, and Emma says she plans to travel as much as she can. That's it for sports. Shannon, back to you.
All right, that will be exciting. Thanks, Jay. Up next, a children's classic returns to the stage. We will meet the cast of Little Women when we come back. And finally, a classic that has been around 150 years is now seen on the local stage. Neil Persley has more in today's Weekend Showcase.
Christmas will be thrilling. Christmas will be gory. Christmas will exceed our finest dreams.
Little Women by Louisa May Alcott was first published in 1869 and is the story of 4 sisters living with their mother in 1860 while their father is off at war.
My name's Theodore Lawrence III, but everybody calls me Laurie.
Jack Stetler plays Laurie.
I actually found out that my parents still had the book, so I read through that a bit, but Laurie is a very lighthearted and young man, so it wasn't too much of a stretch to go from me, I guess, into that character.
Bridget McNiff plays the second oldest March sister, Jo.
We go from, I start the show, I think at 18 or 19, and I kind of go into that early womanhood type of time, and it's something that Jo is not interested in at all. You know, she doesn't want to grow up. She very much enjoys being in her attic with her sisters and just making stories and having a good time. So it really is a challenge for her to see her sisters growing and changing, and subconsciously her changing as well.
Sarah Kurtz plays Marmee, the mother of the 4 March girls.
Her husband is away at war, so she has to take on a lot of the household responsibilities, both physically and emotionally, playing both roles throughout the show. She's a very strong and independent woman, and she really is a good example for her children, and seems to have a good balance of when is the time to correct and when is the time to let them learn on their own.
Many of the actors are Wayzata High graduates, and there is a discernible air of friendship among the cast members. From Blue Water Theater Company in Wayzata, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Little Women is on stage now through Sunday at the Blue Water Theater in Wayzata, and all showtimes are at 7 p.m. Looks like a good show. That's all the news we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you back here again tomorrow, starting at 4.